Number one, it's not fun anymore. When it feels like a chore and it's not exciting anymore, it's time to get out of there, right? Now that's sign number one. Number two is if you're burnt out, and this is kind of what happened to me. It felt more like exhausting, and it felt sometimes overwhelming with all the constant swiping and messaging and in the cycles of interaction. That's where it became dehumanizing when I was just responding to respond just to get through and not actually reading the person's profile, listening to what they were saying, formulating a response in my mind, and then responding. It was just like, yeah, like very quick kind of one line answers, which is not the way I want to communicate with people that I'm looking to be in a relationship with, or that I'm looking to date. So exhausted and overwhelmed. Three is constant disappointment. So if you are just repeatedly disappointed by your matches and your interactions, it's a good sign to like, okay, time to take a break here. If it's affecting your self-esteem, if you're starting to really question your self-worth because of all the rejection, which makes perfect sense if you're getting rejected constantly or people are treating you negatively constantly, after a while, it's going to have an impact on your self-esteem and your self-worth. That's a great time to say, okay, time to put this away, right? And prioritize focusing on you and in that self-love and getting your groove back, as I say. The fifth point would be when it's compulsive, which again, guilty. That constant checking, like if it's the first thing you check in the morning and the last thing it falls asleep beside you, I mean, that's something to look at. I'll say that. But if you're very preoccupied with it, I remember one time when I was working my 9 to 5, I would be in a meeting, like checking my grinder, checking to see if the guy replied. And I'm like, I need to be focused on this meeting or at like a family dinner. And I'm like, my family's here interacting with each other, and here I am on Grinder. So these are some of my examples where I felt, okay, this is not how I want to show up. This is not the man I want to be in these scenarios. And that's a question you can ask yourself. Again, I'm not telling you what to do, but you ask yourself, is this the person I want to be right now? Is this how I want to be interacting in this environment? And start there, right?
Mm.
And then finally, when it's a bit of a distraction, Reno talked about this a lot, and for me, also very guilty. When it's interfering with other things in your life, your work, your hobbies, your social life, like actual friends in your life,
Mm.
um, then it's maybe time to take a break. I will say in these days that I have not been on Grinder at all, and just one app that I deleted, not all the dating apps, just this one, which was my big one. I have been so productive. It feels
Yeah.
so fucking good. And I just get so much more done, and I'm just so more focused. And my dopamine that I would get from the badoop, 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 badoop dings, I'm now getting from checking my to-do list off. So I've just kind of switched my dopamine source from Grinder to like getting shit done, which is a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
That's my list.